this is Matias Rengel with Guitar Control, and today you're going to be learning how to improvise. If you have any questions or comments, please leave it down below as a comment. Please remember to click on the link in the description to get the tab, and don't forget to subscribe for daily guitar videos. Let's get down to it. So the first thing we're going to learn is the pentatonic scale. If you don't know the minor pentatonic scale, it's super easy. We're going to go and place your index finger on the 5th fret of the 6th string, and you're going to place the other fingers in a different fret, one apart from each other, see? 5, 6, 7, 8, there you go. Right, and you're never gonna move them, okay? So whenever you go into different strings, you're gonna keep those fingers in their position. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go index, pinky, index, ring, index, ring, index, ring, index, pinky, index, pinky. It's a very, very easy way to see this scale. Obviously, if you count 1, 2, 3, 4, is to say 1, 4, 1, 3, 1, 3, 1, 3, 1, 4, 1, 4. So it starts with 1, 4, then you have 3, 1, 3, and then you have 2, 1, 4. Does it make sense? So what happens is that when we start improvising, we don't know what to do, and we just go into the scale. We're just like, okay, I'm gonna play the scale up and down, right? It's like... And well, that works sometimes. If you do it all the time, it just sounds monotonous, and it just doesn't sound interesting enough. And most of the time, you're not thinking like, oh, I cannot improvise, but that's not true. You can improvise. You just haven't learned the right technique. So what I'm going to teach you is the basics of improvisation, which is motives. Okay, so with motives, what you're gonna do is you're always gonna have an answer, a question and an answer. Okay, so every phrase that you play is always gonna be related to the one before. So how do we do that? There are many, many ways to do that. One of the ways to do that is with rhythm. So we can have rhythm motives, which are extremely useful and they work really, really well. So by rhythm motives, what I mean is that you're gonna pick, let's say, 5 notes, and you're gonna create a phrase with those 5 notes. So let's pick these 5 notes. Okay? Well, let's make it even easier. Let's pick the first ones. So we're gonna create a rhythm that includes 5 notes. So for example, if it's easier for you, just go on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? So let's do something like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we're gonna play that here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right? So that's a rhythm. So how do we use this in our advantage? So what you can do is then go into the end of the scale and come back with that rhythm. So 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then go here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right? So you got 2 lines there. You got this one. And you already have a rhythm, something that sounds familiar with each other. But let's do something even simpler with 3 notes that is gonna sound super familiar. So let's do something fast, like ta ta ta, ta ta ta, ta ta ta, right? Ta ta ta. So do you notice that I am keeping the rhythm, but I'm changing the notes? So that's what I'm talking about motives. We're gonna keep the rhythm, but you change the notes. And that's your basic to motives, okay? Keep the rhythm, but change the notes. Keep the same amount of notes also. And there you have 2 phrases that somehow use different notes, but sound the same, right? So now suddenly you're telling a story suddenly, right? So you can have another rhythm like, and then we have 7 notes right there, right? Da 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 da. Repeat the same note. Combine 2 notes, right? So that is the basic of motives, the rhythm. Now, another thing to consider when you're learning about motives is the direction of the phrasing. So let's say, for example, one of the phrases is going up, right? What I mean by up, I mean that it's getting from a low note to a higher note. Then we can make it go from a high note to a low note. So Really cool, right? Now, another thing that you could do is you could skip strings. Instead of playing, you could grab the pentatonic scale and skip the 5th string, and just keep one string always, a string, right? There you go. Now, another thing that you can do is skip string and then combine it with the opposite direction. There. Pretty cool, right? So that is the basic of this entire concept. Another thing that you can do, of course, you could grab a chord, right? So let's say you're playing, and you could just grab parts of that chord, like this, for example. And you could just come out, okay, I'm gonna pick 5 notes. I'm gonna pick five notes. But when I say I pick 5 notes, it doesn't mean that you pick 5 different notes. It just means that you have 5 notes. So it could be the same note 5 times. But you grab this, and you say, I'm gonna pick this one. But it's part of this. And I'm gonna create a rhythm of 5-note rhythm. And I'm gonna say, do 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 do. I'm gonna create something else. So one phrase, another phrase, right? And then I combine this with the pentatonic. Now, the cool thing that you could do with motives is that you could intercalate them. So you could have 2 motives, different ones. So you could have one that is 3 notes and another one that is 5 notes. So for example, you have one that says, the one that we just had, dum, dum, da, 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 da. And another one that goes like, da, da, da. Okay, so, da, 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 da. Another one that goes like, just like that. So we can put one motives, then motive number 2, motive number 1, and motive number 2 again. So, right? And suddenly we have 2 phrases that are trying to tell a story. So what I want you to do is I want you to grab different scales that you know and experiment with this. Experiment, like lock yourself and be like, okay, I'm just going to do I'm just going to use 3 notes and I'm going to create a rhythm with that and I'm going to stick to that. Or then you could like be creative and be like, okay, I'm going to use 4-note rhythms and I'm going to use it only in 1 note. And you'll be like, and I'm always going to change the string. And there you have it. I hope you're able to understand the basics of improvisation. Now you can go and jam with your friends and you don't have to be stuck with the pentatonic scale anymore. Please, if you have any questions or comments, leave it down right below and remember to click on the link in the description to get the tab. Also, don't forget to subscribe to our channel for daily guitar lessons. Thank you so much for watching. If you've enjoyed this video, please click on any of these links to get more awesome guitar lessons.